Hi, my name is Rachel, and I am the Thrifty Crocheter. Now, I'm not going to be showing anything about yarn today. Today is Tuesday, April the 16th, but like other podcasters, I thought I would share some of the people that I watch and tell you a little bit about them, and so that you can go check them out and see if you like to watch them as well. And they're not really in particular order. I tried to go in alphabetical, and then I got to a point where I was like, okay, what about this person, this person? Now, I didn't name everybody, but I do have quite a handful here that I watch. And next week I'll give you another handful of them that I watch. I watch a lot of people. First one is Jan, an Alaskan crafter, and she's really funny. She's really nice. She, along with one another podcasters, like to do their Bodhatapalooza, and they also do Hooker versus Hooker, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. There's next one is Lynette from Charmed Grammy Crochet. She's another really nice lady who has a nice. You can always see behind her yarn collection, all her yarns that she has, and she'll tell you the different things that she makes. Next one is Creations by Jax. Jax at Creations by Jax. She is so funny. I love her. I love her sense of humor. I love all her puns. And right now she is working on what she calls Boggy Style, where she's making blankets for Boggy Creek. Boggy Creek is a camp down in Florida that caters to those who have chronic illnesses. So the kids who have chronic illnesses, so they have a place to go camp like a normal child, like a regular like. So, and they have all kinds of fun, and it's all free for them. And in August, another podcaster, which I'll tell you about later, is the one who collects all the blankets. But this year, Creations by Jax created a blanket for that, which I think is really awesome. And every week she's been giving you somebody how to do these rows and then these rows. It's been pretty awesome. Another one I like to watch is Cinnamon Stitches. The lady's name is Jennifer. Very nice, very funny. She'll tell you about her family, things that are going on in her life. She makes tops. She makes fingerless gloves. She has one of those, I'm losing my words, one of those round knitting machines to make hats and scarves with. She is very down to earth, very likable, very nice. She's always buying yarn of different companies. I mean, she's not picky. Well, okay, I had to back up a little bit. She is somewhat picky, but that's because of skin conditions, so she has to purchase certain types of yarn for her skin conditions. So, Billy from Crafty Floridian. I can't talk straight. I'm sorry. Very nice old lady. She also helped out with Boggy Creek last year. She's the one who kept the count of the blankets. You know, this person did this many, and this person did this many, and at the end of the night, she would say, this is how many blankets we had tonight, so many, this month, and at the end of the year, how many there was. And not only does she crochet, but she also sews. And so she's made quilts. And she's also made, for some of the bags that she's crocheted, she had sewn a lining on the inside of the bags. So she's very good at her hobbies. Very, very excellent at her hobbies. Dee's Creative Hands Crochet. Oh my goodness. Her and husband are so wonderful, and they're funny. They're always doing giveaways. Sometimes they even sell yarns. She even, besides crocheting, she also dyes yarn and makes her own yarns. I believe she said she does a lot of other crafts too. She's just simply wonderful. That's and their backdrop is always so cool. I mean, one of the things they have back there in their backdrop a lot of times is this little miniature VW van, which I think is so cool. They are just the neatest people, and it is just so cool. They're just really, 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 really neat. Jada and Stitches. Jada and Stitches is also a lot of fun. Her and her hubby are so funny together. Mostly it's just her in there, but when they're having a live videos, he's usually in the background, and they'll be chatting about different things. She makes a lot of things. Every year, the last few years though, she's been making calendar blankets of various types. And every month she'll put out a different pattern for that month. She also does appliques. She makes sweaters and ponchos, hats, scarves, mitts. She'll tell you how to make adult sizes and kid sizes. She makes all kinds of things. Several years ago, they made this little crochet game with the Granny Square. They did this Granny Square game. That was a lot of fun. It was really, really hilarious. You have to go back to watch her older videos to see those. But that's also really good, really good. Just Vintage Crochet. If you like to want to make some of the older stuff, like some from 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, anything older than that, if you want to try your hand, making some really old stuff like the 1800s and 1700s. I mean, she's got, I don't know where she finds them, but she finds old patterns, and sometimes she gets her son to make copies of the old patterns or pull them off of the internet, and she'll number them, and then they'll pull them out and the number out of the hat, and then they make that pattern. And what they do is it's called mystery pattern, and he'll block out all the stuff that tells you exactly what that is, and then she'll make it, and then they'll pull off to see if she was right what she thought it was, which I think is kind of neat. Another thing that I think she's still doing, she's been collecting squares, various sizes. And she was going to make what she called a Dolly Parton jacket, and she was going to auction that off for a charity. And they were also going to put squares together to make bags and to auction off for a charity. But go check out her channel. She makes all kinds of, and sometimes it'll be a project that she knows the date for and knows exactly what that project's going to be. And there's some really neat things. I mean, I don't have patterns that are as old as the ones that she has, but most of my books are older books from like 60s, 70s, and 80s, and some are from now. A lot of the magazines I have are from now, but there's some really interesting things. Like she tells you the difference between today's version, what each of the things are called as compared to the English version of stitches, because over in Europe they called stitches by a slightly different name than what they're called here in America. So she explains that, and she explains how you could tell which it is when you're reading through a pattern. Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. That's one of them that I was alluding to when I was talking about Jan Alaskan Crafter. Mimi's Crochet and Farming. Lala. That's her nickname, Lala. She is so funny. She is hilariously funny. She is so funny. She's got a few things going on. Her and Jan both like to do the Bodhat Palooza. That's mostly actually through Mimi. She goes online and she picks out a number out of a hat for the hat that they're going to make. And BOD stands for Bago de Crochet. But they make the hats that she made. And she does that. And she also does Scarf of the Day. And Hooker versus Hooker. Her and Jan from Alaskan Crafter, they both have this thing called Hooker versus Hooker. Now, the two of them go against another podcaster and a subscriber. Now, there's no prizes here. It's just all bragging rights, and they have a whole lot of fun. And a whole another separate podcast, a couple of podcasters, they choose the project and they choose the colors. And the most colors they can use is 5, and they have to be solids. Can't be any striping in them. Can't be, I dropped my pen. Anything like that. They all have to be solids, and then they'll tell you what the project is and what colors they decided to use, and every time it's something different. Now, so far, according to them, the subscribers have won every single time. Like they have and it's only lasts a month. Every month they have these two get different people to help with it. Every month it's somebody different, and every month it's a different project. Like right now they're working on amigurumi, and before that it had been things in a pot, and another time it was a bag, and and so forth and so forth. But anyway, they have so much fun messing with each other and joking with each other, and just and then they have at the end of the month there is somebody, they do a judgment thing. Everybody puts in their likes of who they like the best, and then they declare a winner. And so far, it's been a podcaster that has won every single time. And poor Lala ends up being the last one, being the last of the list. So sometimes I like to root for Lala. Sometimes I try to root for the subscribers, because I'm a subscriber myself. But I'm just new at being a podcaster, so I still consider myself a subscriber. Because I subscribe to a lot of people. I've gotten to know a lot of people and what they do. But Mimi and Crochet and Farming is so much fun. They're so very British. She's so funny. She's a lot of fun to watch. Michelle Jacek, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that last name. She goes thrifting and crocheting. Those are her main two things, and she talks really fast. I'm guessing that she's like in her 20s, like 30 at the oldest. And she talks really, really fast. And sometimes she shows you when or sometimes her and her sister go to thrift stores, and she'll show you she'll show you their thrifting haul, and she'll explain different places that she went and the stuff that she got from there and whether she bought something or not. And her backdrop is what she calls old man style, and she likes what she calls old man clothes. And she loves crocheting. She's made a lot of sweaters. She's made some stuffed animals. She's made some really neat looking bags. She's just really nice. I like her. But if you want to understand when she's talking, sometimes you have to really pay attention, because she talks really, really fast, and she tries to get everything in a really, really quick hurry. So, Nina's Knots Crochet. I like her. She crochets, And she also does Tunisian crochet. In fact, lately, the past few months now, she decided to do what she calls, on Tuesday, she calls Tunisian Tuesday. And she's been showing us how to do Tunisian crochet. And last year, she decided to collect squares to make into blankets for Boggy Creek. And she got a way more than what she thought she was going to get. And so she had to get what she called elves to help put them together. So this year she said it's only have to be, they can only be 6-inch squares, and they can only be like fun colors. And I know I may be wrong on this, but I believe she said the most you could send at a time was 20. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong about that number. And from one address, because it was just got to be too many. I mean, people were sending a whole blanket worth of them. I mean, she appreciated them, but at the same time, it was a lot to do. Because, and some people were sending her little hearts, little crocheted hearts, and I'll tell you why. Because she decided to put on every blanket, there's at least one little heart on each of her blankets. And I just think that is the coolest idea ever. That is so cool. So that, just to, as an added reassurance that that these kids are loved, that they're well loved. And that is so awesome. That is the neatest little thing. She's Got Yarn Too. Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too. This is a big deal. Every year, last 2 years, especially last year, oh my goodness, they decided to collect 700, and they ended up collecting over 900 blankets from all across the nation, and some came from across the globe. And so this year, I think they wanted to try to get over 2,000 blankets for Boggy Creek. And they're going to start collecting the blankets, I believe, in August. And I believe they collect them up through like February or March. I can't remember, but I know they start collecting them, I believe, in August. And these blankets, like I said, they go to Boggy Creek. And when that time comes in, they will explain to you. And I don't have my paper. Wait. They say how big the blankets have to be. Oh. Find my paper, but I know I had it written down how wide and how long and all that information, and I'm sorry about that. I will have it for you next time. But for these kids they have chronic illnesses, and it's down in Eustis, Florida. And I just, for somebody to come up with a camp for these kids so that they have some place to go to just be a kid and forget the things the illnesses that they have, and the things that they have to, all the medical things that they have to go through every day, and just be a kid. And it's free for the kids and the parents, and they just get to have fun. That is so wonderful. That is the neatest thing. Skein Spider. She's kind of fun too. And she has an accent, so you have to really listen and pay attention. But she's a lot of fun too. Mostly she makes amigurumi, although sometimes she does make sweaters and ponchos. And she also occasionally she'll put up her own little bingo board, and she makes something off of that bingo board. There's been a couple of times where she brought out this toy dinosaur, and the two of them had to make something. I think it was something from AI or something like that. But she does a lot of amigurumi, and her amigurumi is just off the chain. It is so wonderful. Um, but she's really cool to watch too. I like her. Nova Gnome Creations. Oh my goodness. Nova Gnome. You're so funny. You're so full of life and pep, imagination. She is so fun. I love her glasses. I love her hats. Some of the outfits that she wears are so fun and creative. And now she crochet, but I know she's talked about other crafts that she does as well. And she's funny and just so full of life and just a lot of fun. So fun. My Precious Yarnery. Oh, she is such a sweet lady. She's so nice. And she doesn't really give herself enough credit, but she is really nice. And she has all her yarns that she has behind her. And she's got something on a pegboard. She was just showing us a while back. She was just redoing her yarn room and her craft room and putting all her yarn up. And she's got some really nice mannequins. She's got the sweaters that she makes, that she puts on her mannequins. And she's got one of those really neat, really nice blanket holders. You put your blankets on. She sits them on there. Somewhat shy, maybe, but really nice gal. You'll really like her. Mrs. C's Cottage. She's one of them that I've been recently watching. She's just a really sweet old lady, and to a lot of people, she's like a grandma or second grandma too. She's just really sweet. She's been making what she calls a some bunny buddy. And she's made bunnies, and she's made I know she made bunnies. She did that for Easter. She's been showing everybody how to make the zebras. I'm not sure of other animals that she has. I know she's got a couple other animals that she makes of that, and they're animals that you make to give away, to give a buddy. You give a buddy to somebody. She will explain more on those. But Mrs. C's Cottage, she is just a really sweet, sweet little lady. You'll like her. And then finally, Juan the Yarn Addict. He just, when he first came on, ever since the first day he came on, he just exploded into life. His channel is so huge. Besides making videos, he does lives for Facebook, and he does lives on YouTube and lives on Facebook. He does how-tos, and this is something he said he was going to go back to doing that a lot of people liked. He had this, what I call like a Wheel of Fortune wheel, and you use a wipe erase mark, basically a wipe erase marker board wheel, and you could change it up. And he was doing, you would spin it. And this last winter, we did the stitch along for a blanket, and each stripe, he did two at the same time. And I tell you what, hats off to him, because one was just a blanket for people that prefer to do stuff in a round. And then he's also doing a separate one for people who like to make squares and then sew all the squares together. Well, the stitches that were for the squares, 9 times out of 10 came out different than the ones for the blanket. So he was doing 2 complete blankets at the same time for everybody. That's a lot. And then after we got done with that, he made these hats. He was making all these hats. And where he decided to do the same thing, where he spun the wheel and whatever stitches, then that's what he used to make the hat. That was really cool. And he made 4 or 5 of the different kinds of those. Um, and a lot of times he brings, especially on Sundays, he brings his mom on, and when the two of them on there, they're just so cute together. Um, and he likes to show a lot of the yarns that he gets in, and he talks about his the stuff that he's been working on and projects he's getting ready to do in the future. He likes to what some people call the doughboy laugh. You person goes he laughs like he does a lot. And he does laugh a lot, and I really like that. I just think that's really funny too. That's really cute. But yeah, this was a really long video. Sorry, not sorry. But I just thought I would shout out a lot of different other podcasters and tell you a little bit about them and why I like to watch them. And hopefully you will go see them too, see what they're all about, and like and subscribe their channels, like and subscribe my channel. I'm just a little baby channel. I'm just barely starting out. But I thought I'd give a little shout out to some people. And tomorrow is Wednesday the 17th, and I'm going to try to put out a live in the afternoon. I have a few things to do in the morning, so hopefully I will put one out in the afternoon. And I will talk to y'all later, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.